Oh, we're up against it, so I'm just going to grab a couple here from
John Cena!
I thought you were going to go, the way you started that, I thought you were going to say Chauncey. John Cena sounded like Chauncey. And the favorites are being fired up on the Vancouver Ford text line. Sell the team! Phil Knight would fix this! And it's like...
Tomorrow he would.
Yeah, that's it. Guys, that doesn't matter. Right now, like, Marcus Thompson just wrote a scathing article destroying the Golden State Warriors and Joe Lacob and everything that's going on with the Warriors and lack of this and lack of that. This is not a John J. Fisher situation. And Jody Allen's not the best owner in sports. She's far from it.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea that their money is not being spent is insane. The idea that, like, the Phoenix Suns can't make a move right now because Matt Ishbia screwed up and didn't factor in how...
Oh, I thought you were saying didn't hire Isaiah Thomas.
Well, yeah. How volatile the new CBA is going to be.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, like, nobody did. And they can't spend their way out of the situation that they're in.
I think the Jody Allen thing, though, is that since all of the reporting, and it is known that eventually she will need to sell the team, right? Until that finality happens, it's a rallying cry for, and it helps fans understand that, hey, we can put the onus on her, and new ownership would fix it because it seems and feels like a magic bullet. And it's not always a magic bullet. She is, and Vulcan is spending a lot of money on this organization. They're putting money into places where it's not money makers, right? Like the remix or the renovations to Moto, which eventually will make money for them.
Eventually,
right?
Yeah.
But they are spending a lot of money, and it's not like they are John J. Fishering this, and
no,
This
is the
recycling. Yeah, they're not recycling, practice workout shorts or whatever.
God.
It is a situation where, because fans know that ownership is going to have to change hands at some point, that why not just get it done now? And we all know the reason why, whether anybody wants to say it out loud or not.
It's expansion.
Right? It's expansion. They're waiting for expansion fees because then every other valuation of a team goes up. So,
which is what you should do.
If you want, maybe you should just push Adam Silver then to expand the NBA tomorrow.
Yeah, make sure the Celtics deal gets done quicker, faster, sooner. Because once that gets sorted, then you'll start seeing the rest of the stuff happen. But the league is not even hinted at it officially happening anytime soon.
But that does, like, I don't think at ownership overnight, like, you have a silver bullet and everything changes. And
it's the same thing as it was when so many people had their pitchforks out for Terry Stotts. Chauncey didn't come in and fix everything.
But I do agree and acknowledge that having ownership change hands sooner rather than later is good for the organization to be in better footing moving forward.
Sure.
Because of the fact that we know it has to change at some point.
Or you could get a absolutely horrific owner and things could go completely sideways.
Yeah, right? But
hey, you got the new owner.
As if it's not sideways right now for Blazer fans.
Yeah. She was the owner when they made the Western Conference Finals.
she was the owner. She was the owner.
Throw that out for everybody. It's like, it's always been bad. It's like...
Well, I mean, Paul died that fall, winter.
What, didn't Barry Switzer win a Super Bowl too?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but it's my point. It's like this whole idea of like what one thing is or isn't. It just, you want to have a boogeyman. Here's your boogeyman baseball bat. You're very, 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 very likely getting a new coach next year.
Yeah,
very likely.
There is
so you have a new person to say they're great, and then 6 months later hate with a fiery passion of 1,000 Suns.
But that's one thing that we do know too, though, is that Paul Allen, it would have been a really tough pill because he was passionate and he cared, and he deeply cared about the Portland Trailblazers and their success.
Yes.
And I think for a lot of fans, they're just sitting there going, Jody doesn't. And she definitely doesn't like Paul did. And that
thing, I don't think she doesn't care, because if a billionaire didn't care, she wouldn't come to 30 plus of the freaking home games.
But she doesn't care like Paul did.
No.
And Paul cared like the fans cared.
Yeah.
And
Paul cares like Ballmer cares, like Cuban cares.
But that is something that if you have an owner that cares like that, this downswing, it doesn't feel like it's going to last forever. it doesn't feel like they will allow it to continue to spiral, and that there will be planned in a direction moving forward, because they care about the product, they care about the results, and they care about the fan base being happy, right? Like, and Paul did care about those things. And when you don't have that, and you had that for so long, and to be quite honest, like, he meddled for long stretches of the Blazers, and it was to the detriment of the team. But he then got out of the way, and he still said, I can still care and get away out of the way of the basketball decisions. And the organization took major strides forward, right? They want that back. And I don't blame a fan base for wanting
I don't
that
either.
back. Yeah.
But the whole idea that everything was also perfect then is,
It wasn't.
I mean, they fired a guy in Kevin Pritchard on draft day.
Yeah.
Very functional organization.
Well, made him finish.
Made
it
him
out,
finish
too.
through the draft, and he took Luke Babbitt and Armand Johnson.
2 guys from Nevada Reno.
Like,
that would be then D-League All-Star Armand Johnson.
there you go.
And Luke Babbitt,
Yeah.
who was Human Torch.
He still is one of the highest rated 3-point shooters in NBA history from a 3-point percentage.
Seemed like a pretty good draft.
But yeah, it's like everybody wants to remember the good and not the bad. And it's just like, look, again, I don't think she's the best owner in sports, but she's far from the worst, and they're putting money in the organization. And if they're doing this in the meantime, Phil Knight is not a magic bullet.
I think he is.
You're a monster.